What is going on, my super sandwiches? Rhymestyle here, and today we're talking about episode
97 or 8.
I should always check what it is before we start talking about this. The one that just aired this past weekend. We have basically the one where Goku fought against Universe 9 and teamed up with Vegeta. That one. I'm sure it's 98, 97, whatever. Someone's gonna correct us in the comments, and by the time I post the video edited together, it's gonna happen. Whatever. This episode was amazing. There's a bunch of things I want to talk about. Number one, let's talk about the elephant in the room. They actually did it.
Dude, that surprised me.
I thought they were at least gonna wait to the end, like everybody gets knocked out. You can put your last.
Me too.
Like
I thought they were gonna be like, oh, we'll let them spectate.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, okay, so they were serious about them, you know, erasing the universe, but I figured at least like kind of wait until the very end. It's like, all right, you guys are all done now. Bop. And before you did that, Goku would have been all like, hey, no, don't do that. But no, they wiped out Universe 9.
They really did. I was sitting back here, I was like, wow.
What I want to say, the question I'm going to toss out there is right now, who is your favorite fighter from what we saw in these last 2 episodes? I got to go with Frieza. Because this man, when he started attacking that freaking guy with the bat, I knew exactly where it was going. He was going to torture him, and it's exactly what he did.
He's a very seasoned torturer.
He tortured him into basically just jumping off. And that was amazing to me. So again,
he is the master manipulator.
Yeah, the more I'm seeing Frieza in this, the more he's become my favorite fighter in the entire tournament so far. So that's for me, it's Freezy Pop, and I guess for you too. So in the comment section below, the first question I want to know from you guys is who's your favorite fighter so far? Now, the second thing that I really loved about this episode is, well, for starters, Goku's an idiot. He, you know, again, he kind of gets too cocky sometimes, and he needs to stop doing it. This is a kind of a severe situation. I mean, we just watched Universe 9 disappear, and this man is, again, trying to take on the trio of the Dangers with their stupid attack names, which is funny because they're making fun of attack names the entire time, without really, like, you know, he's kind of just jumping like, oh yeah, I got this, but he can't sense them, which is why he couldn't really counterattack. So, yeah, he's like, dude, stop doing that. Like, I know it's a challenge, I know you want to fight, but stop. I like
You know what, though? You know what? When he started going into that fight and they were like mentioning the fact that he wasn't actually like, whoa, why isn't he going blue or whatever? My first thought was what you just said. It's like, oh, come on, Goku, stop being Goku, stop being so cocky.
But he was smart.
But, I mean, we explained it.
Yeah, he's conserving stamina. Yeah. But what ended up happening as far as the fight is he realized, I guess he was looking for openings. It's not that he didn't know what to do, because ultimately if Vegeta didn't jump in, I'm sure he would have figured out his own way and, like, you know, knock them all out. But having Vegeta jump in, you can't tell me that wasn't hype. When that happened, I was excited, like, oh, this is so dope. And then you're watching, but first of all, I like to talk about something, you know, because there's Xenos in the background in this video. The man used Absolute Zero. She has
the Groot guy?
Yeah, she has no idea what Absolute Zero is, but Absolute Zero is like the cheesiest evasive move that was available in Xenos until it got patched, I think in DLC 3. Oh no, DLC 2. It got patched in the last couple months. Absolute Zero was the move that basically the cheesiest players like to use. It's an easy move, basically. It gave you a free stamina break, and then you can basically knock out your opponent. Leave it to Universe 9 to be using Absolute Zero. Was that a coincidence? Come on, that can't have been a coincidence.
No.
Yeah, I feel like
they got it from the game.
Well, they did, you know, they did tap into Xenos a couple times in Dragon Ball Super over the course of the last year and a half.
I think that's kind of cool, personally.
I think it's cool, but it's funny that, like, the Universe 9, the scummiest universe, used Absolute Zero in a fight. And they even called it Absolute Zero, but it didn't work out. Yeah. But, by the way, we also got an answer to what that weird aura was. I remember last week when the next episode preview showed up, I was like, ooh, what's that aura? It was just a defensive barrier that both Goku and Vegeta used to not get poisoned by, not basil. It's basil, bergamot, and lavender. That's what they lavender. Yeah, and that was basically their way to stop the poison, because you got stopped with Gohan. When Gohan got hit by it, it was pretty. it did some damage. So that's how they avoided it. So it wasn't like anything fancy, no new form. It was just basically him defending against it. But it was cool. But like, I like how the choreography of this fight was amazing. Like just how they timed it all right, knocked him out, and then the final Kamehameha with the final flash.
With their dinky little...
Dude! I just like how they literally had this little dinky ass little, what did they say, triangle beam, something stupid. Something like that. And it's like, oh yeah, I want to see a beam, let me show you a beam. And then busted out this gigantic one that just completely knocked them out.
Just wiped them off.
Amazing. So, it was a cool fight. The only thing I will criticize about this as far as the execution is, I feel like it did kind of play out too long in the beginning, because I knew where it was going. What they were basically trying to do is for the second half it was all setting it up to, you know, knock them out and destroy Universe 9, and then again sure, but the threat, the first half was more of like setting that up and showing like that Goku was in danger. But I feel like at certain parts of that fight they kind of dragged it out way too long, And it was like,
while we were watching it though, I was like, this is Dragon Ball for you though. Because like we should be used to little grunts here and there, like the camera just showing the face and there's like like that's normal.
It is normal.
Be used to this.
It is normal, but like I figured because of how dire the situation is, and it's like Toei doesn't have to drag it out because there's other universes to fight next. Yeah, but like it's still
so much to.
I feel like they unnecessarily dragged it out in the beginning. But again, once the second half started and they had the little eye catch in the middle and the beginning, took us to the second half of the episode, it was fine, great. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room again. The Universe 9 got wiped. So. Now that we saw it's happening in an instant, you said it actually. Universe 6.
Oh, yeah, like, okay, this is my fear, okay? I'm kind of attached to Universe 6 at this point.
Yeah, right?
Like, I don't want to see them go, because we know Universe 7 has to survive. Like, they just, or somehow come back if they don't survive.
Right,
but,
right.
Like, we know they're there eventually, and I'm like, okay, well, if they win, what happens to my beloved Universe 6?
Yeah, I mean, if they did it on the spot, that's going to happen again. So so two things can happen. Either one, they're just going to keep wiping out everybody after each, universe gets knocked out. Unless not everybody gets knocked out, and then at the end of they'll try to knock out everybody all at once. I feel like that's going to be the scenario. I don't think we'll see any more of the universes get kicked out all at once like they did in this episode. So what's going to probably happen is it'll come down to like everybody will have at least like one fire left.
I see, or a couple.
And then it'll be like, all right, time to destroy you. It's like, no, don't do that. Two, everyone's gonna keep getting knocked out, and it'll come down to Super Dragon Ball. So the question is granted the Super Dragon Balls is part of the wish, would they be allowed to bring everyone back with the Super Dragon Balls? Because let's be real, death in Dragon Ball is a joke. That's
true. Like to some degree, yeah.
Yeah, so I think what's gonna happen is the first theory kind of stands out to me the most. And by the way, shout out to me saying Universe 10 was gonna get watched first, and it didn't. Universe 9. Universe 9 was my second option, okay? Universe 9 was, well, it was my first option until I saw what Universe 10 looked like, and I was like, wow, they all just kind of look like they're just meatheads. Like, no offense to meatheads, but like
where are they in this episode?
they have no strategy or anything. That's how I saw them, so I figured they'll get knocked out first. But I was wrong. Universe 9 took the L.
Well, sometimes the weakest ones will hang back and just not really do anything, and then they get wiped out eventually.
Can we also talk about the fact that Mojito, which is the angel for Universe 9, he just had this weird smile on his face. Okay, so the way I perceived it is okay, so the angels are supposed to be all neutral, right? Yeah. They don't get wiped out. My theory is I feel like he didn't really like his job, like, oh, finally, like, I'm free now, I can go do something else. And he knows, like, Universe 9, they're full of asshats, basically. So the way I perceive that is like he's happy that he was relieved. Because I feel like people started smiling about, what does this mean? Well, I think that's just how I perceived it. So if you guys have any way to discuss it yourself, let us know in the comment section below. But
it is interesting. That was interesting. It could mean many things.
I'm like, dude, you were just with these people probably for how many ages, and it's like they're gone, death, you have no connection to them. I don't care. But to be real, would you? Because like both Ro and Sidra, they don't seem to be pleasant people to be around. I mean, Sidra I can't speak of. Sidra seemed kind of nice. He just is too indecisive, and this is why his universe kind of sucked. Whereas Ro is literally an asshole, and I was waiting for Ro to go, especially after he pulled that stunt a couple episodes ago to try to knock out Frieza, and they failed with that one. But it's interesting to see like they're setting us up where it's the second you're out, you're out. So again, are we going to face heartbreak in the future and see boy Champa?
I hope not.
It just seems sad. Like I don't want them to go. But ultimately, what I think it's gonna come down to is the important universes. I think they'll probably knock out the ones that didn't get that much airtime in between. So Universe 6 is gonna stick around, 11 is gonna stick around, 10 is gonna somewhat stick around just because we got connection to them with the whole Future Trunks stuff a while ago. But all the unimportant ones like the Robot Universe or the or even Universe 2 with the Magical Girls, I feel they'll probably get knocked out next. And basically anybody that didn't get that much airtime and focus around, they're not going to be as important, and they'll probably get knocked down next. So
that's why I was surprised about 9 though, because I felt like 9 got a lot of airtime.
Yeah,
that's
surprisingly.
Why I was like,
because I figured
those characters are gone.
Universe 10, granted we watched the arc and it's like, oh, this is cool, we're kind of attached to them, but like Universe 10 fighters, they just seem like, oh, I don't really like them at all, they can go. So here's a question. Which universe is going to go next? Let us know in the comment section below. What do you think?
Dude, I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea what's gonna happen.
Yeah, so it's interesting. We'll see what happens next week. I feel like we also might get like a thing where it's like, hey, don't delete the universes until afterwards, probably. Maybe they might say that. I mean, it's too late for
That
Universe 9.
wouldn't be fair to 9 though.
It doesn't matter. Who's gonna complain?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Remember the time when Frieza almost went there? That makes you wonder, how would it have been if Frieza wasn't in that universe? I don't think that would have been knocked out.
No.
Yeah.
No, because he wouldn't give up or anything like that.
No, Frieza would have been 100% fighting from the start. He would. Yeah. I mean, the universe would have got knocked out, but Frieza would have been the last one standing from it, and he would have been just going crazy. All you have to do is go gold and just freaking do a bunch of death beams all around. Granted, he can't kill, but he's an expert at not killing people, so he could probably maim everybody in the ring with a bunch of Emperor Death Beams and then just kind of throw them out one by one. He would have been a key fighter, but unfortunately, it didn't work out. Anyways, this fighting tournament is amazing. I'm enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. A lot of big twists, seeing the universe get knocked out that fast. So with that said, I guess let us know your thoughts. Anything else that we forgot to discuss? Again, it was cool seeing Goku and Vegeta fight together, and I say it with air quotes because they didn't really fight together. They just kind of teamed up, so they took the loads off of each other, where it's like 4v2 instead of 8v1, which is, well, technically it was 3v1, and then they all jumped in. But basically, they took off loads for each other, so it's not like, you know, completely unfocused and getting attacked from all sorts of directions.
Yes.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this episode of Dragon Ball Super, as well as this quick episode 97, 98, 90-something talk, leave a like in the comment, let us know your thoughts and predictions for the future, and I guess we'll see you guys next week for another Dragon Ball Super talk when the next episode airs. So hope you enjoy the weekend. It's been Rhymestyle. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye. Peace.